we all been seeing lately, Durant has been going in. Like, ever since Patrick Beverly shut him down and made him look
I'm Durant.
bad, then Kevin woke him up, and then from there, Durant went off, and like D said, he told us who he was, and he showed us who he was. And all of a sudden, we start hearing he can be the greatest ever. He's, is he closer to Jordan and LeBron? Stop it. Like, what are y'all talking about? But he's been getting a lot of love. I guess I'll start with the guest. Mm-hmm. I'll start with Alan. First, my question is, do you think that do you think it's overdue as far as just getting the love, first of all, just the love?
I'll probably say it is overdue. I mean, since he's come into the league, he's basically been buckets since the day he stepped on the court. So it's very clear that his talent is elite, and I think he definitely deserves the accolades as far as his talent and what he's been able to do in the league since day one.
Right. Anybody agree, right? Everybody agree, right? Do you disagree? Or
I definitely agree. Even before he stepped on the NBA court, when he was in Texas, he showed us what it was. And when he came in as a rookie in Seattle, he done nothing but buckets.
Yeah.
Yeah, and see, and my thing is, like, with that situation, I'm with you as far as is overdue, because when he was with OKC at one point, when he went, remember he went through he scored like 40 in like 4 or 5 straight games. He started getting love. But then when they started losing, you know how we are as fans. All right, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But he got with Golden State. People hated him for a minute. But he's one of the few that has kind of changed people's perspective of him. You know what I'm saying? As far as most people, he's a punk, he this and that. And I ain't gonna lie, I was one of them. I was upset that he went to Golden State, but I knew what he was, But now he's getting the love. Now, G, but what they're saying, do you think that, I feel like Eddie Kane, I think you overstepping your bounds just a little bit. Do you feel like they're kind of going too far?
I think in some cases people are caught up in the moment. He's been on a tear in the playoffs, so it gets people like tend to overhype. I mean, there was one year to where the Grizzlies made a deep playoff run, and it seemed like Zach Randolph was the best power forward in the world. The way he was playing. So, but no one thinks that about Zach Randolph right now.
Right.
So, but in this way that it's what he's been his entire career. He's been this incredible scorer this entire career, and his game's we've seen more facets of his game once he came to Golden State. But I think a lot of people get caught up in certain narratives, and the narrative's been, it was a weak move to go from Oklahoma City to Golden State considering the circumstances. But he was going to be criticized I think he would have been criticized if he stayed in Oklahoma City. Like, they're not doing anything. They're not going anywhere. They haven't made the team any better. So it was like he couldn't win either way. So why not just go somewhere to where he probably has a very significant chance to win?
Mm-hmm. I still think it was a weak move. But
yeah, facts.
Yeah, I do. To guarantee that, I get it. For him, he wants to guarantee that championship to say, hey, I won. But to me, I don't think the two MVPs the two final MVPs will come out and look great until he goes somewhere else and he wins a championship. Then you can say he won. If they win to this year, he's won 4 championships, 3 final, 4, because he probably going to win an MVP wherever he go, MVPs. Then it'd be like, okay, now but right now, here's my take, and I want you all's take on it. You can't be doubled. You can't be doubled in Golden State. And so with his skill set and how great he is, he's 7 feet. he can shoot, he can do all of that, and we can't double you? If Mike, LeBron, Kareem, Bert, any great player you can name, I don't think has that luxury or could say they've been through that except for Stephen Curry and Kevin Durant.
Even Harden right now.
Harden
You
has to
can't
right.
say-
You can't.
You can't
Giannis.
double.
Nobody
Yeah.
can say that.
No.
Well, I think in that case, you could say that he's in a situation where he has a great team around him, and previously in Oklahoma City, it was really your turn, my turn with Westbrook. So he has a better team around it. So you could double Durant or double Westbrook, but you can't.
Right.
It can't happen now because of the great team that he has
Right.
around him.
Right, and that's not his fault. But I'm just saying, everything looks great now because you can't double him. Now, just watching him play, you're a basketball fan. You know he can play. I mean, you see the moves. But Alan, talk to me. It's hard to. It's easy to score like that when you have that skill set and you can't be doubled.
It's true, but my only pushback is this: from his move to Golden State, for me personally, was about competitive balance. As a fan of the NBA, I love competitive balance. So in that aspect, I was disappointed that he went there. But at the same token, he just didn't go to Golden State and was one of the players. He was their best player. And he even stepped that up in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. And that's, I think Durant, probably more than any other star in the NBA, is a guy who can integrate himself anywhere. And I think one of the great things that came out of this was the other aspects of his game was able to shine. He's not just a scorer.
That's what it was.
He has other abilities. We've seen his better defense. We've seen his ability to pass the ball and be a semi-playmaker. So, in that aspect, I think he's proven himself to be more than just a bit player on a great team.
And I think that, D, I want your opinion on this. I think it's not easy. I think you have a better chance to do that because now, as much as he's scoring, and what I love about Golden State, and that's why, yet still, with all of those players, you got to look at them, you got to put them up high just because usually you don't see a lot of players, a lot of teams that have great players like that willing to share and willing to just, hey, it's whatever. You never see them fight about the ball. Everybody's selfless. Right. So you don't have to spend as much energy on the offensive end now. And I think he was smart to say, let me play defense. Let me show them, because he made it a point. I want them to see that I play defense or I can pass the ball. D.
I agree with that. He's able to show off, like you said, other elements of his game, which we've seen him become a much better, not become a much better defender, but able to show his defensive side because he doesn't have to work so hard on the offensive end. So that definitely is a benefit. But for me, him going somewhere else and doing this on a different stage without all the, without Steph, without Clay, without Dre, that would show me more from Kevin Durant.
Right.
I think he's doing a great job. He's a great player. He's somewhere among the greats. I'm not going to give no number, top 10, 20 somewhere, 20 somewhere in there. But it's going to be kind of shaded because of this situation.
So wait. So you say he's around 20. So you don't put him top 10 yet?
I don't even think I put him top 10 yet.
G, you agree with that?
Yeah, I agree.
You agree?
I agree with that.
Yeah, I do too. And I was told I was a fool for that.
Yeah,
saying that
you can run off 10 quick.
It's hard, right?
Yeah, 10 goes quick, and even your 10, you're gonna be flipping, right? You're gonna be flipping. So then you get, KD's not even in there. No. You know what I mean? So I could probably give him top 20, and even still, you still gonna be naming names.
It's gonna be a tight squeeze.
So
okay,
all right. So now we're gonna wrap it up with this. We know he's a great scorer, right? So now we're talking about ranking him amongst scorers. Mm-hmm. So, do we agree with our top 5? Do you all put him in your top 5 of scorers of all in your lifetime?
Yes.
I put him in my top 5.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Do we agree that we have Mike and Kobe in this top 5?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're actually my top
So,
2.
right. They're my top 2. Top 2?
Top 2.
Oh,
No.
okay. All right, I'm going to get your top 2. Top 2?
Yeah.
So who is your top 2, sir?
My top 2
Yes.
scorers all time.
Top 2 scorers.
I got
Of your
my
lifetime, right.
I got Michael Jordan 1, and I have KD 2.
You got him over Kobe?
Yes.
What makes you put him over Kobe?
Just his arsenal and where he can score from on the court is more than Kobe.
Only reason why I disagree, Durant, we've seen him, but Kobe has a better post game than Durant. Now,
Agreed.
Durant shoots better than Kobe, as far as efficiency, as far as like jumpers. But Kobe gets to the hole easier and better than a Durant. You making a face?
No. I'm just playing it through my mind.
Okay. We know 3-pointers. KD.
But even with threes, right? Like, and I think that's what we always got to remember. When Kobe first came into the league,
it wasn't big, right? It wasn't, and we talked about this.
We did.
Off the air, right,
We
right.
did.
So, but jumpers, I'm still giving it to KD.
Yeah, I get it to him. But what goes into also being a scorer is that killer instinct, right?
Okay.
I can't say that KD has a killer instinct over
Right.
Kobe. You know
But
what I mean?
okay, but I'm not
My
mad
only-
at you.
My only
I'm not mad
pushback
at
to
you.
that is that when I watching both of them score, Kobe made, I think, a ton more of tough shots. He was a tough shot maker.
Right.
I think that I look at KD in which the ease of which he scores.
Right.
It just makes
Yeah,
it
yeah.
laughable,
It-
and
it-
his size has a lot to do with that.
'Cause he-
but
Right.
it's
Because who
just
can
that-
you put on him?
Because
Right.
I might,
mean,
because I think you can say that he might be the most pure scorer. Purest.
Yeah.
You know what
His
I'm saying?
efficiency
Yeah.
is off the charts.
So okay, so I want to go round. I know we got to wrap up, but I want to go. Who are your other 2?
So I got MJ as 1.
You ain't
Kobe.
got to go in order, but go ahead. I want the other 2 that we said besides Kobe, KD, and Jordan.
AI and Melo. AI and Melo. We got to talk about my generation.
Right.
Melo
right.
was
Melo was one of the. He can score from any. He can do everything. To
Every
me,
level.
His arsenal might be better than. I think his arsenal is better than. See, KD can shoot better, but his arsenal to me is better than
because
KD.
KD gets. I mean, Melo gets you in that post.
Post,
Ooh.
face you up,
Ooh.
could drive,
Yeah.
shoot.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I got AI and Dirk Nowitzki.
And scoring,
Yeah.
Dirk.
I don't like his off the dribble game. Like
He
he's
can
not
score, but
he's not going
he
to blow
can- yeah,
past
yeah,
you.
And-
right.
and it
But
took him a
still,
while to get a post
But
game,
he's 7. But
but-
he is.
Yeah,
7,
I mean,
real
he
He
7
scored
feet.
30,000 points.
Right.
Right. I mean, KD is the better version of him. You know what I mean?
Right,
Like,
as being a 7-footer who can
Yeah.
shoot.
And if you all are listening, please post your last 2, or your top 5, whatever. Other 2 besides Kobe, Jordan, and Durant.
KD.
All right.
You don't have them in your top
Right.
3, top
Right.
5 there.
We're not having a conversation. As far as my other 2, I had AI as well. And my 5th guy, I had the Iceman, George Gervin.
Ooh, see, he got
I didn't get to see him play.
Unfortunately, fortunately for me, I got to watch the
Right.
last 10 years of his career as a youngster. And
I heard about that finger roll.
See, I would have put him in if I could, but I hadn't watched him.
Right.
All right. So mine, I have AI, and I gotta go with Karl Malone. Because if
He was,
we
but-
know if it wasn't for Jordan, Malone would have had about 6 scoring titles.
and you can
and at least a chip.
and
Right.
So you know why I didn't put him up there is because if I feel like he played them extra years to get his score up there.
Right,
You
but
know
I'm
what I
not
mean?
even, right, but I'm not even looking at
This
the
point
totality.
right.
Like everything, I'm
Yeah.
looking at when he played.
Right.
He
Yeah, you
could
couldn't
score,
stop
and
him.
you couldn't stop Malone.
yeah.
he was everything you wanted in a power forward except shoot threes, which they didn't do.
Right.
But he could shoot the jumper, post you up, drive. He could do it all. Run the floor. I gotta go. But we better go. We missing Neek. I wanted to put Neek in there.
Yeah.
T-Mac.
Bernard King.
Bernard
James
King.
Harden.
I didn't watch
'Cause
Bernard, but
because
James Harden, right?
You remember them for 4 or 5 years, T
Yeah.
Mac was the best player in the league.
Right. I wanted to put
Like
I wanted to put him
he
in there.
was nuts.
I thought about Melo, but I couldn't put Melo over.
And I got killed as a New Yorker. I got killed for not putting B.
King
King.
in there.
But I had to, you know what it helped me? I had to put a criteria on this. And for me, you had to have a career 25 point or up average. That
Right.
was for me
Right.
to say that you were an elite scorer. And that he had a couple of years that hurt him. A lot of guys, T-Mac, for everything that he did in those years, he ended up just south of 20 points for his career. And that's surprising.
Because of the first three.
Right,
and the
I
last
looked
three.
at that and I was
Yeah.
like, wow. So
Right.
that helped me round out my list.
So, like I said, y'all put y'all list on that on Facebook and tweet us and all of that, YouTube, whatever. We want to know what it is. We'll mention it throughout the show. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We will be right back.